What's going on, guys? It is your girl Dax and welcome back to the channel. It is time for a monthly wrap up. This is everything that I read in the month of February. But before I get started, I wanted to say that moving into March in the forthcoming months, I will be dropping down to one video a week from two, just because I kind of want to focus on quality over quantity. I'm not giving y'all what I want to see from other channels, and that just feels a little hypocritical to me. And I kind of want to, I don't know, do some more long form videos. And I'm also trying to scale back for the time being on my reviews, just so I can revamp it, because you know, these publishers are out here in these streets giving out strikes left and right. And let me tell y'all something, if this channel gets taken down, I ain't coming back. So you can expect videos from me moving forward every Friday. We're gonna kick off this wrap up with No Country, no, that's wrong. The Country Without Humans. This is about a little girl who wakes up in a strange place, and she comes to realize that she's the only human left on this planet, in the world, wherever she may be. And these pyramid head looking things are trying to hunt her down. We don't know why. She doesn't know why. She just knows that they scream danger, so she needs to get out of the situation. She's also a little girl. So these little robot things are called golems, and they come in different forms. So there's a non-verbal golem that actually protects her from these little they're called triangle heads. I don't know why I keep calling them pyramid heads. It protects her every time they try to attack. So they're forming this relationship, and we're just kind of following her, trying to figure out, one, where the humans are, two, why these triangle heads are after her, and three, this was just an okay story to me. It's cute, the art's nice, but it's not something that I'm dying to continue. I might pick it up later, but for right now, it was all right. Up next, I read Back When You Called Us Devil, Volume 1. Now, this was originally going to be my Volume 1 review for the month, but the more I read it, the more uncomfortable I was with the thought of deep diving into this story, because it is quite graphic, so I just left it alone. This is about a boy who can only remember the last 6 months of his life, and you know, he's living life. It is what it is. It's not a big deal to him. But someone from his past shows up and is determined to help him unlock these memories so he can see the person that he really is. And from there, things get super dark. Now, let me preface this by saying I do not have a problem with over-the-top violence or gore or mature themes or heavy topics. They talk about essay in here. However, this was done so bad. So it's a mess, y'all. It's a hot mess. I will say I did enjoy the art. I love the cover so much, and the whole series, all the covers are very nice. I like when a manga takes a story and everything's like rainbows and butterflies in the panel, and then it turns to this dark, scary moment, and it kind of jars you, kind of like how Maruko-chan does it. However, this dialogue was just whack. I don't, like, there's no other word for it. It was terrible. I could excuse 80% of what was going on if it were laid out properly, but it just wasn't, in my opinion. There, like I said before, there's a lot of talk about assault of the sexual nature, and the way that these characters go about talking about it is just flat out ridiculous to me. Like, they're really calling back to it in scenes like it was a fond memory, like it was a great time, and like, oh, I remember that time where what criminal talks like this? None of these characters have any depth or any substance. Granted, this is just the first volume, so I understand I shouldn't be expecting too much, but if you're gonna lay down the foundation, I can't even hate the villains because they're dumb. I can't even root for the main guy because he's dumb. I understand what the story was trying to do. It just doesn't do it. It does a terrible job at doing it. The volume ends on a cliffhanger. I could care less. Usually, even if a story is bad, if it ends on a cliffhanger, I will be intrigued and seeking out the next volume because I like closure. But I don't even care enough about this story and these characters and this plot to want to continue. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. Next story. Next, I read MW by Mr. Otezuka himself. I thought I was holding it upside down. I was double checking. I'm not sure if this is centered around Yuki, the criminal, or if this is centered around Gurai. I think that's how you say it. His Catholic priest that he also has a homoerotic relationship with. This is a mess, but it's a good mess. This is a different type of mess. This isn't the mess like back when you called us devils. This is just chaotic goodness right here. Yuki is a criminal. He is abusive. He is a fiend. He is a fiend. Oh my gosh, he's a fiend. And he's just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. This story is not going to be for everyone. It's a thick boy too. This is not going to be for everyone. I do not recommend this to everyone. But I enjoyed this one. This story is very well crafted and it kept me engaged throughout the entire thing pretty much. I like that the art is very simplistic. It's an older story, so you know, it's a simplistic drawing style, but the way that it was able to convey what was going on without having to explicitly draw it out. There's so much violence in here, and you get the feeling that you would get if it were, oh, there's a head on this panel and the body on the other panel. They don't show all of that half the time, but you still get that sense of dread. And that, to me, that's just great storytelling. Yuki is not a man to be played with, okay? I wouldn't try him. No, I wouldn't try him at all. Great story. Next up, I read the Demon Slayer side story, Stories of Water and Flame. This follows Rengoku and Giyu and just offshoot side stories. It was alright. I enjoy Demon Slayer. I probably could have did without this. You know, it didn't really add too much to the characters, in my opinion. If you're a Demon Slayer stan, then go for it. This is something that you'll want in the collection, but as a casual, I say casual lover of Demon Slayer, but I just really enjoy these characters. As a casual lover of the story, it was just okay. If you're a fanboy, fangirl, if you're a stan, go ahead and check it out. Volume 2 of My Love Mix-Up. This is about boy A who likes girl A who likes boy B, and somehow through convoluted nonsense, boy B thinks that boy A actually likes him. So it's a triangle of love. Or is it? I love this so much. I had such a good time reading this. I will say that this volume is a little weaker than volume 1 because all of the conflict that was in volume 1 for the most part has been resolved. So this is new conflict, but it's still good storytelling. I need Akun to stay out of people's business and just stay on the sideline because he's messing it up for everybody. Okay? Up next, I read volumes 1 through 7 of Inside Mari, and let me tell you, this is a trip. I enjoyed this so much. This is about a college dropout who is infatuated by this girl, Mari, right here. Is this her? Yeah, her right here. And he wakes up one day after what I would call stalking her, and he is her. He is inside of her. and the story takes off from there. This story is absolutely dope. I was not checking for this story when I first got into Oshimi. This is definitely interesting, definitely on par for his brand. I will say, given the things that happen in volume 4 and 5, I believe it is, I wish that Mari was an adult. I wish we were following adults in this story. Other than that, it's not bad. I think there's only one volume left for it to be wrapped up, and then we are done. And this, I want to say, is slated for July, but I've noticed that every time I mention a release date for a manga in any of my videos, it gets pushed back. So we're not going to talk about it and just, you know, keep it moving. Up next, I read volume 6 and volume 7 of Way of the House Husband. Ex-Yakuza becomes a stay-at-home husband and takes care of the chores in everyday life while his woman is out in the corporate world working. Not too much to say about the series other than I still love it. It's still funny, it's still fun, and Tatsu is still bae. Up next, I read volume 3 of Dragon Ball Super. So after my ill feelings back in December, I think, whenever I started this, I decided to walk away from Dragon Ball Super for a little bit, take a break, recollect myself, cleanse my palate, and I came back to it. I only read volume 3 for a reason. I should have stayed away. Volume 3 didn't do anything for me either. Goku Black is on the scene. I don't care. You know what? At first it was pretty cool. But then the time traveling and the multi-universe mess and all of that mixed in with Goku's Black's reasoning for why he's doing what he's doing. I'm taking another break. Also, Super Saiyan Rose, really? Y'all just got a loophole for everything. I'm not gonna go off on Dragon Ball today. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Save that energy for something else, girl. Okay. Up next, I read volume 3 of Mao. This is about Nanika, who gets transported to a different time era. There, she meets our boy Mao, who is an exorcist, who is hunting down the evil cat Byakuya, who cursed him. That's a watered down version of what's going on, but if you want to know more, I have a video for you to check out. Mao does not miss. This volume was just as good as volume 2, which was just as good as volume 1, and I am here for it. I really hope this series does not fall off because I really enjoy it. This is one of these series that when it comes in the mail, I read it right then. I don't even think I've hauled this yet. I really wish I could binge this series. I think when all of the volumes come out and it gets completed, this will be one that I definitely will binge, but I just can't bring myself to put it down and wait for multiple volumes to come out to read it. So the next volume is supposed to be coming out soon. I'm not going to say when because I don't want to jinx it, but I do appreciate that they've been kind of coming out on a regular schedule, so that's nice. In other news, I need the rest of my Inuyasha to show up so I can start the series, please and thank you. This is a big one. Okay, these are already out of order. I'm letting you know now. Up next, I read volumes 1 through 12 of A Bride Story. This was the pick for the MangaTuber recommendations video that I did. I love this so much. This is hands down some of the best art I've ever seen in my entire life. I stand by that statement. I'm sorry, Mr. Asano, Daddy Asano. I know, you know, you were number 1 for all this time, but you've been dethroned, sir. I still love you, okay? Still got Poom Poom right here in my heart. However, this is so good. This is easily in my top 10. If you want a full coverage, spoiler free, I don't know, I put up quotations because it is spoiler free. If you want full reactions of the series, please check out my MangaTuber recommendations video. Other than that, I just got a pushback email for this, so volume 13 is not coming as soon as I would like it to, but I can't wait for it because I'm ready to read. Next up, I read volumes 1 through 7 of Chainsaw Man. Now, I only went in to read volumes 1 through 3 for the book club that I can never make it to a meeting. I'm sorry guys, I love you. I'm there in spirit. So I was gonna go on, I was getting ready to read volume 3, and then I was like, okay, after I read volume 3, I'm gonna go read my haiku for the month, which by the way, I'm officially behind because I didn't read any haiku this month. Shay, I'm so sorry. I'll catch up. But when I initially read Chainsaw Man, I read the first 3 volumes and then I stopped because I was reading so many different series at the time that I was like, okay, some need to go on the back burner until I can, you know, get done with some of these series. If I would have read to volume 4, I wouldn't have dropped it. I would have kept flying through it. I'm going to continue to fly through it because, oh my goodness. At first it starts off with, you know, Denji's goofy behind and Power's goofy little self, and you're just like, okay, this is typical shonen craziness. And then something happens, and then things get real. And now I can't stop reading it. I can't stop reading it. And then, now that I have the Shonen app, which I keep forgetting that I have the freaking Shonen app, I have the whole thing at my disposal. Wait for volumes to come out? Who? No. No. They didn't tell you what Chainsaw Man was about. So our boy Denji gets in a bit of a predicament, and long story short, his pet devil dog Pachita here sacrificed their life so Denji can live. And then it just gets weirder and weirder the more you read, but it's so good. The art's good. The action is fire. I can't believe I stopped reading it. What have I done? I'm sorry, Pachita. What have I done? What have I done? So I'm probably going to finish up Chainsaw Man next month. I say that, but I also said I was going to catch all the way back up to Golden Kamui and finally start JJK. So we'll see what happens, but it's just so good. The last thing that I read was volume 1 of Cells at Work Code Black. This is the mature spin-off to the original Cells at Work, and this is an educational manga about human biology. So whereas the original series talks about catching a cold, you know, the functions of each cell, this one talks more about alcoholism, erectile dysfunction, STDs, and how the body copes with these things. This was pretty okay. It was mildly entertaining, just enough to hold my interest. I think that if you are a biology student or a biologist or anybody who has any hint of interest in the human body and how it works and how it functions, you will enjoy this. There's a lot of info dumping. I'm not mad at that. I don't mind info dumping. However, biology is not something that I am just absolutely in love with. I did learn some things. I did think those things were pretty cool. Is there a whole bunch of big words in here that I can't pronounce? Absolutely. Anyway, I definitely recommend it. Again, if you're interested at all in any kind of educational manga, or if you're just interested in the human body in general, give this a try. Or I'm going to go ahead and say give the original Cells at Work a try, even though I haven't read it yet, but you know, tomato, right? All right, my loves, and that is everything that I read in this wonderful month of February. Let me know down below what you read. What were some of your favorite reads? Did you have any moments like I did with Back When You Called Us Devil? And I will catch you all in the next video. Bye.